Here we go again. Another group of kids being a bunch of idiots, kicking on people's doors in the middle of the night, forcing a homeowner to decide in an instant, is this somebody trying to invade my home or just a bunch of stupid kids looking for a thrill and some cheap content? And as a result, that homeowner ends up in a situation where he might feel like he has to start sending rounds in their direction. Essentially a perfect storm of stupidity and bullets. Now, if this sounds familiar, it's because it is. I did a video not too long ago about a very similar situation in Virginia. And in the video, I said this.
Tonight, an arrest for murder in Virginia after teens tell authorities an age-old childhood prank, the ding-dong ditch, turned deadly.
Playing ding-dong ditch at 3 a.m. is effing stupid in a country with a Castle Doctrine and over 300 million guns. Like, what the hell did you think was gonna happen? And I hate to break it to you, but ding-dong ditch doesn't mean what it used to. This isn't just pressing a doorbell and sprinting off giggling into the night. These kids are kicking people's doors, full force, like they're trying to break in.
Yeah, we just waiting to get shot.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what? Anything for the content. Anything for the content.
That was then. Now it's Texas. Same prank, same guns, just a slightly different spin.
The Frisco Police Department says a ding-dong ditching prank could have turned deadly for 3 teenagers. A resident fired multiple rounds at those teens as they were driving away.
The Frisco police chief is warning that the viral trend of kids knocking on a door and then running away could have deadly and lifelong consequences, and both teens and homeowners need to pay attention.
These things can spiral out of control.
58-year-old Damon Wolf called police to report himself as a victim of a crime July 28th. At 10:50 p.m., 3 teens banged on his door and took off.
As the officers looked at the circumstances related to everything, they determined that he had gone beyond just simply defending his home and had actually committed an offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
The Frisco Police Department said Wolf went into the street and fired multiple rounds at a car he believed was involved. Frisco Police Chief David Shilson says his actions crossed a legal line.
The homeowner went beyond defending his home. He ran out into a street. He fired shots into a vehicle as it was coming his direction and then as it had already passed him. And certainly there's a lot of risk associated with where those bullets could go. The teens initially told their parents and police that they were shot while northbound on Legacy, but they eventually admitted to ding-dong ditching in a random neighborhood.
Here's where this one gets tricky for me. On the surface, it looks simple. A 58-year-old man storms into the streets and starts dumping rounds into a car full of teenagers. But then the lawyer part of my brain kicks in. The police chief said he fired at the car as it was coming towards him. That changes things in my mind a little bit. Because if I'm upstairs, it's almost 11 o'clock at night and someone starts pounding or hell, Spartan kicking my front door, I'm grabbing a gun. And if I step outside and the car is barreling towards me, I'm thinking, these are the same idiots who were just trying to kick in my door, and now they're trying to run me over. In that split second, you could argue his life was in danger. Now, the line gets drawn the moment the car passes. That's when the law expects you to stop shooting. If you keep firing after they're already gone, that's not defense anymore, that's offense, and the law doesn't protect you, even in Texas. But here's the other thing we can't ignore. Ding Dong Ditch in 2025 is not the goofy prank it was 30 years ago. Kids today aren't just tapping a doorbell and giggling into the night. They're full-on drop-kicking doors like they're filming a WWE audition tape. And the entire point of the game is to make someone think their house is being broken into. That's not harmless fun. That's manufactured panic. So yeah, the kids were wrong, absolutely wrong. But self-defense is razor thin. Were they still a threat? Or were they already gone? Was he reacting out of fear or out of anger? Did he stop the second the car passed, or did he keep going? Those details, they matter, and right now, we don't have them. That's why this one frustrates me so much, because it's so stupid and so avoidable. The kids shouldn't have been doing it in the first place, and the homeowner may have crossed that line. But here we are. Back when I covered the Virginia case, I said this: context matters. Now, legally, Virginia doesn't have a strict Castle Doctrine statute, but courts recognize your right to use deadly force inside your home if there's an imminent threat. But the line gets blurry when you shoot through a door or outside the threshold. The key term here is overt act. something that makes it clear they intend to harm. If these guys were violently trying to break in, that could qualify. If they were running away and he shot, that's a different story. And this case in Frisco was literally that different story. Probably not smart to chase people into the street and fire into a moving car once they're leaving. That's how you go from homeowner to defendant, unfortunately.
Wolf is facing 2 to 20 years in prison for the 3 counts of aggravated assault. Since there was no damage done to Wolf's store, the teens are not facing any charges.
And here's the reality. This is why I'm a USCCA member and why they're a sponsor of this channel, because situations like this highlight how razor thin the line really is. With a USCCA membership, you don't just get legal and financial protection if you're ever forced to defend yourself. You also get something just as important. You get training, wisdom, and preparation. See, a lot of people think they know exactly what they do in a self-defense situation, but when it actually happens, most people realize they don't know the laws in their states as well as they thought they might have. They've never actually played the scenario through in their heads. And when you're making a first-time decision in a frantic, high-stakes moment, that's when mistakes happen. USCCA gives you the scenario-based training, the resources, and the legal knowledge so you're not making those decisions for the first time when it's happening. You've already thought it through. You've already trained for it. And sometimes that preparation doesn't just help you defend yourself, it helps you avoid the fight altogether. And to me, that's invaluable. Because while it's great to have the financial and legal protection if it comes to it, the real win is making the right call in that split second so you never end up there in the first place. So if you own a firearm for self-defense, I highly recommend you check out USCCA. I'll put a link in the description section of this video. And even if you don't go with them, go with something, because you don't want to be left out here alone if you ever have to use a gun in self-defense and have to go through the legal system like this guy might have to do himself. So here's the takeaway. If you're a teenager, stop doing this dumb shit. It's not clever, it's not funny, and it could get you killed. If you're a homeowner, know the law, know your limits, and understand that one bad decision in the heat of the moment can ruin your life just as fast as it can save it. One thing's for certain and 2 things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.